Alright, let's get into chapters 1 and 2 of The Pearl, a story that kicks off with some serious vibes, peaceful mornings, salty ocean air, and then, boom, instant chaos. Imagine Kino, our boy, starting his day in chill mode. He's got the beach, his family, and the kind of sunrise that makes you want to grab a paintbrush and start a masterpiece. It's all serene and Ghibli-esque, with Kino stretching like he just hit save after a solid gaming session, his wife Juana being the ultimate MVP mom, and baby Coyotito looking like the tiny king of Nap City in his cradle. But, of course, nothing good ever lasts for long in a Steinbeck story. Out of nowhere, a scorpion decides to make an appearance. Now, I know what you're thinking, scorpions are small, right? Not a big deal? Wrong. This little villain straight up speedruns its way onto Coyotito's crib, looking like it's ready to ruin someone's week. Juana, who could probably moonlight as an Olympic sprinter, moves faster than a Valorant player on a headshot streak to try and stop it. She almost pulls off the perfect save, but nope, scorpion sting to the baby. It's bad. Like, someone call the doctor ASAP bad. Kino, meanwhile, goes full Hulk mode, smashing the scorpion with all the rage of someone losing a ranked match because of lag. But the damage is done. Coyotito's little arm swells up, and Juana's already in healer mode, trying to suck out the venom while Kino watches in helpless horror. It's the kind of moment that makes you want to throw your controller because the stakes just got ridiculously real. Coyotito's survival isn't guaranteed, and the vibe shifts from peaceful mourning to high-key panic in about 5 seconds. Now, this is where we really see the struggle of Kino's world. Juana decides they need a doctor to save Coyotito, so they head into town. Seems simple, right? Wrong again. The doctor in their village is the human equivalent of a pay-to-win game. He doesn't care about people like Kino unless they've got the cash to make it worth his while. Kino shows up with the only currency he's got, some sad little pearls, but the doctor's servant shuts him down before he can even get through the door. It's straight up humiliating. Kino is furious, Juana is devastated, and Coyotito? Still very much in danger. Kino is so mad he punches the gate outside the doctor's house, cutting his hand like he's trying to cosplay as a tragic anime protagonist. This moment? It's peak frustration. He knows the system's rigged, and he's just a small fish in a big, unfair ocean. You can feel his helplessness, and it's a major gut punch for anyone rooting for the underdog. But Kino isn't giving up yet. In Chapter 2, he shifts gears from desperation to determination. If the doctor won't help him, Kino will find his own solution. Enter the ocean. The sea is basically Kino's grind spot, where he dives for pearls to earn a living. And today? He's going all in, hoping the ocean will bless him with the ultimate loot drop. His canoe, passed down through generations, is his lifeline, and the way Steinbeck describes it makes it feel almost magical, like it's more than just a boat, it's a symbol of survival and hope. Kino dives into the water like a pro, collecting oysters and praying to find something valuable enough to change his family's fate. It's tense, like when you're mining for diamonds in Minecraft and you know one wrong move could send you into a lava pit. He's holding his breath, both literally and metaphorically, as he searches for the pearl that could save Coyotito. And then, jackpot. Kino finds the pearl, a massive, gleaming beauty that looks like it belongs in a museum or maybe on a supervillain's desk. This thing is so big and perfect it's almost surreal, and Kino's reaction is everything. He's in awe, Juana's in awe, and even Coyotito seems to calm down as if he senses this pearl could be their miracle. For a moment, it feels like their luck has finally turned around. The pearl isn't just a shiny object, it's hope in tangible form. It's freedom from poverty, a chance to change their lives, and a way to give Coyotito the future he deserves. But let's be real, this is Steinbeck. You know it's not going to be that simple. For now, though, Kino and Juana are riding the high of their discovery, holding on to the belief that things are about to get better. It's a bittersweet moment, full of hope but shadowed by the sense that this pearl might come with a catch. Because, as any gamer knows, when the loot is too good to be true, the boss battle is just around the corner. Alright, so chapters 3 and 4 of The Pearl are where the drama levels up to max. Kino's got the pearl, the legendary loot that could change everything for his family. But, like, have you ever noticed that when someone in a story finds the ultimate treasure, the vibes instantly get cursed? That's exactly what's happening here. It's like Kino's walking around with a glowing "please rob me" sign, and the world is just sitting back, sharpening its knives. First, let's talk about the village. Word spreads faster than spoilers after a Marvel movie. Everyone and their grandma knows about Kino's gigantic pearl. The pearl isn't just shiny and expensive, it's straight up clout. It's like Kino just hit 1 billion followers on TikTok overnight, and now everybody wants a piece of him. Suddenly, Kino goes from being the chill dude by the beach to the guy everyone's watching, plodding around, and quietly envying. Even the priest pops by like, wow, Kino, the church could really use some of that pearl money, pretending it's all holy and selfless. Spoiler alert, it's not. Then there's the doctor. Oh yeah, that guy. The same doctor who ghosted Kino and Juana when they needed him the most? Now he's knocking on their door like, hey, buddy, heard your baby got stunned and also you're rich now. Let me help. And Juana's sitting there, big time sus, side-eyeing him like, this dude smells like cap. But Kino? He's caught in this weird loop of hope and paranoia. He lets the doctor treat Coyotito, but deep down, he knows this dude is slimier than a dungeon boss. Coyotito, meanwhile, is actually looking better, whether it's because of the doctor or Juana's TLC, who knows? But even with that little win, things are not feeling safe. Kino's not sleeping well, and for good reason. One night, someone straight up tries to rob him. Yup, some shadowy figure rolls up, hoping to snag the pearl, and Kino has to fight them off. He's holding his own, but the whole thing rattles him big time. The worst part? He doesn't even know who to trust anymore. It's like he's stuck in an Among Us match, and everyone around him is sus. Wanna, being the absolute queen she is, has her priorities straight. She's like, Kino, this pearl? It's bad juju. I know it's shiny and you've got big dreams, but it's messing us up. Let's just toss it back into the ocean and call it a day. But Kino? Oh no, my dude's got tunnel vision. He's like, no way, Wanna. This pearl is the key to our future. Coyotito's going to school. We're breaking out of this cycle. We're getting everything. You can see both sides, but honestly, Wanna's got a point. This pearl is starting to feel more like a cursed item than a blessing. Fast forward to chapter 4, and Kino's finally ready to cash in the pearl. He's heading to town to sell it, dreaming about all the things he's going to do with the money. But this is where you really see how messed up the system is. The pearl buyers? They're all part of the same squad, running the ultimate monopoly. It's like walking into a Pokemon center expecting a fair trade, only to find out every trader's got the same plan, lowball Kino into oblivion. Kino shows off his pearl, and the buyers' reactions are so fake it hurts. They're like, yeah, it's big, but it's not that great. Honestly, it's kind of ugly. I'll give you, like, 1,000 pesos for it. And Kino's standing there, knowing full well this pearl is worth way more than what they're offering. It's like he just rolled a shiny Charizard, and they're trying to trade him a Weedle for it. He's furious, but also kind of stuck. This is the only market in town, and they're all working together to cheat him. Now, Kino might be an underdog, but he's no fool. He's not about to let them scam him. He decides, you know what? Forget you guys. I'll go to the capital and sell it there. This is a big deal. Going to the capital isn't just a quick road trip, it's dangerous, unfamiliar territory. But Kino's ready to risk it all to make sure he gets what his family deserves. Back in the village, people are watching all this go down, and the vibe is tense. Kino's defiance makes him a target. He's not just some fisherman anymore, he's a guy with a pearl that everyone wants. Wanna's still worried, and honestly? Same. The pearl is starting to feel like that one cursed sword in Dark Souls, powerful, but it's dragging Kino down with it. By the end of chapter 4, Kino's world feels like it's hanging by a thread. He's got this massive dream fueled by the pearl, but the weight of it is crushing him. People are greedy, dangerous, and ready to take him out if it means getting their hands on his treasure. Kino's stuck in this brutal balancing act, trying to hold onto the pearl while everything and everyone around him spirals into chaos. It's the kind of story where you can't look away because you just know things are about to pop off in the worst way possible. Buckle up, this ride's about to get even wilder. Alright, buckle up, because chapters 5 and 6 of The Pearl are like a full-on boss battle where everything Kino's been trying to do goes absolutely sideways. If you thought things were intense before, these chapters crank the drama up to 11. Spoiler, it's messy, it's heartbreaking, and it's wild. We start chapter 5 with Wanna, who has officially hit her I told you so era. She's been saying since day one that this pearl is more cursed than a bad RNG roll in Genshin Impact, and now she's ready to take matters into her own hands. In the dead of night, while Kino is sleeping off his stress, she sneaks off with the pearl. Her plan? Yeet it into the ocean like it's the ring and she's Frodo heading to Mount Doom. Honestly, Wanna's the MVP here, she's got priorities. But just as she's about to make her game-winning move, Kino catches her. Oh. Kino goes off. He's like, how dare you? This pearl is our future, and Wanna's like, dude, this pearl is literally killing us. They argue, and then Kino, in a not-so-heroic moment, straight up attacks her. Yeah, it's bad. He knocks her down and snatches the pearl back, leaving Wanna hurt but still determined. She knows this pearl is bad news, and deep down, Kino knows it too, but he's way too stubborn to let it go. It's like he's got main character syndrome, but instead of saving the day, he's spiraling into chaos. And chaos does not wait. On his way back from Wanna's failed ocean toss, Kino gets jumped by some random attackers who are trying to steal the pearl. It's a straight-up brawl, like something out of Street Fighter. Kino manages to fend them off, but not without consequences. He ends up killing one of the guys, which is a huge deal. Now it's not just about the pearl anymore, it's about survival. Kino's gone from being a hopeful dreamer to a guy with blood on his hands, and things are getting darker by the second. When he limps back to Wanna, she doesn't even get mad. Instead, she switches to damage control mode because she knows their lives just got 100 times harder. Kino's like, we have to leave. No. And Wanna? She's ride or die, so she agrees, even though she knows this is probably not going to end well. They grab Coyotito and book it, but not before Kino discovers something that makes his heart sink even deeper. Their canoe, their precious family heirloom, has been destroyed. To make things worse, their house is burned to the ground. Yeah, someone really decided to play full villain mode. With no home, no canoe, and a murder charge looming over them, Kino and Wanna head for the mountains. They're on the run now, like fugitives in a Breaking Bad episode. Kino's clinging to this pearl like it's the last shred of his dignity, but the further they go, the heavier it feels. The pearl isn't just a shiny rock anymore, it's a whole mood, and that mood is toxic AF. Juana keeps looking at Kino, hoping he'll realize it's not worth it, but he's too deep in the game to quit now. By the time we hit chapter 6, the vibe has fully shifted. The family is trekking through the wilderness, trying to stay ahead of the trackers, 3 dudes who are basically human bloodhounds. Kino knows they're being hunted, and his paranoia is on max difficulty. He keeps glancing over his shoulder, like he's in a horror movie and the killer is just around the corner. Every sound in the forest feels like a threat, every shadow is a potential ambush. Eventually, Kino and Juana reach a remote mountain spring and hide out in a cave. It's a decent spot, but the trackers are relentless. These guys are like NPCs in stealth games who magically know where you are no matter how good you think your hiding skills are. Kino decides they can't just sit around waiting to get caught. He needs a plan. As the trackers close in, Kino gets desperate. He watches them from a distance and notices they've got a gun. Yup, these guys are armed, and Kino's family has, like, 0 weapons unless you count Juana's determination and Kino's anger. Kino realizes the only way to protect his family is to go full stealth mode and take the trackers out before they reach the cave. It's high stakes, like sneaking through the last level of The Last of Us, except Kino doesn't have Ellie or Joel level skills to back him up. And then, tragedy strikes. While Kino is making his move, one of the trackers hears a noise. It's Coyotito. The baby, who's been surprisingly chill through all of this, makes a little sound, and the tracker assumes it's some kind of animal. Without hesitation, he fires his gun. Kino doesn't even have time to process what's happening. He lunges at the trackers, fighting like his life depends on it, which it does, and takes them down in a brutal, desperate fight. When it's over, Kino's standing there, battered but victorious. But then he hears Juana scream. That's when he realizes what's just happened. The tracker's bullet didn't hit some random animal, it hit Coyotito. Kino's world comes crashing down. The pearl, the dreams, the plans, it's all meaningless now. His baby is gone, and it's because of the pearl. The thing he thought would save his family has destroyed it instead. The ending is heartbreakingly symbolic. Kino and Juana return to the village, broken and grieving. They don't say much because, really, what is there to say? Kino walks to the shore, holding the pearl one last time. He stares at it, seeing all the pain it's caused, and finally makes the choice he should have made ages ago. With a powerful throw, he hurls the pearl into the ocean, letting it sink back to where it came from. It's a brutal, gut-wrenching moment, but it's also cathartic. Kino's finally free, but at what cost? The pearl promised everything but delivered nothing but pain, and now Kino and Juana are left to pick up the shattered pieces of their lives. It's the ultimate reminder that sometimes, chasing the dream isn't worth losing what really matters.